So hello everyone, it's your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and today we're gonna get into me trying a new brand for the first time. So Colorful Camille kept talking about in her palette collection video how wonderful she liked this brand called Plain and Makeup with Yolondo. So it ended up having a 50% off sale because the brand is moving from New York to Atlanta, because the owner obviously is moving from New York to Atlanta. So I figured I'd go ahead and try the palette. So I got the I got a couple of palettes, but this is the one I want to try on camera with you all. This is the Jamrock No Limitations palette, and I feel like when you see the inside you'll know why I grabbed this palette, because immediately, what y'all, if this ain't me, this jewel tone grungy gorgeousness that this palette is, oh my god, do you see it? Y'all know this was the palette for me. As soon as I saw it I was like, yes please, I need it. So I've actually done like a few looks for you all on Instagram with it that you'll be seeing before you see this video, but I want to give like a full dedicated video to the palette because I liked it that much. Spoiler alert. So I'm gonna give y'all more colorful looks because it inspires me so much with all the colors it has, and I'm gonna go off camera and figure out one or two eye looks. I might do three, I don't know. I'm thinking I'll just stick to one though, because I already gave y'all like 3 on Instagram. So go over GLP87's Instagram if you want to see some more looks with it. But I'm gonna stick to one here, and I'll be right back once I figure out what the one look actually is. Okay. Oh, I forgot, the palette retails for $54. I happened to catch it on sale for like 50% off. So mine was, I think mine was 26, 28, 22, one of those numbers. It was like in the $20 range instead of the $50 range like it normally was. But right now it's back at regular price of $54, I believe. Anyway, let me go off camera and figure that out. I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, so this is eye look number 1 with the Jamrock No Limitations palette. I kept it real simple, but I tried to do something unique as far as having an all shimmer eye look, because y'all know I usually do like mattes and shimmers. So I figured we could try something different, and I got this all shimmer situation going on. So I simply used the shade Simone and the shade Lizzie at the bottom, and that's how we got going on right here. It would look better if I had glitter glue, but I ran off and left my glitter glue at home yesterday when I was doing the other eye looks for you all, and I did a similar one like this so you could see, you know, how impactful and nice it is when you actually use the glitter glue as opposed to having to do it the way I'm doing it right now without the glitter glue. But you know, I'm pretty sure you'll see that before you'll see this, so you'll see what it was supposed to look like when I have the extra help from the glitter glue to stick it down with and make it more impactful and vibrant and stick on quite a bit more metallics. But with this one I don't have to stack on as much as I had to do with the other one I did. I mean, I had to stack and stack and stack. I sat there for like a good 15-20 minutes just stacking to get it, and it had glitter glue with the, mind you, as you can see, these are doing phenomenally better, and the shimmer is quite potent, and I haven't had to stack it a lot. I mean, I'm gonna stack it a little bit just because I don't want as much glittery impactfulness as I have. And mind you, if I had my glitter glue like I'm supposed to, it wouldn't take nearly as long. So I'm probably gonna edit some of this out just because it's like, do you really want to see me sit here and, you know, pack up glitter glue? I mean, pack shimmer in my crease? I don't think you do. Hey, Lizzie, and just start putting that all over the lid. I'm gonna go ahead and put the shade Simone, the one that we cut the eye out with, in the inner corner as well, because I feel like, why not, you know. Sorry, I hope I don't have the mirror up in the way where you can't see. I forgot to turn the computer around so I could see, you know, what's going on. It sounds like it's about to start raining outside, y'all. I'm hoping not, because like I'm gonna have to drive through the rain home and then have to go to work today in the rain. It's just, I'm praying to God that is not what's going on right now. Even though from what I'm hearing, it sounds like it might like be sprinkling. Finished eye look. I'm gonna put the inner corner in off camera as well, because I left that brush in the bathroom and I don't feel like getting up just to come back and put it in the inner corner, especially since you see what the inner corner is gonna look like, the same as the outline of the eye. So I'll see y'all with the next look. Okay, y'all, so we got eye look number 2. Y'all should have known it was going to be a blue, green, purple situation moment here because they're in the palette. So I basically went across and used this row right here. So we got Sandra in the inner corner. We got Renee in the crease. We got Miriam in the crease. And then we got Natasha on the lid. So going into the second look. I'm really feeling this look, y'all. But we know these are my type of tone. So I feel like you shouldn't be surprised. I started off actually going in with Renee all over here instead of just, you know, doing the way I normally do, where I start on the outer V and go into the lid. I did it the opposite way. I told y'all I'm trying to switch up and do some different stuff for y'all, so hopefully, you know, it is noticed and appreciated. Because I started off with the most unique look of all, because I noticed in the algorithm, like, depending on what eyeshadow palette I'm using, y'all only stay for a certain amount of time. So I was like, let me make sure I do the coolest or the most unique one first, and then get into stuff that I normally do, so then that way if they're not super excited, they at least got excited about the first look that they saw. So that's what we did here. So I'm taking it out to about right here. So I stopped right at the tail end of my brow bone. So like you see the brow bone right there is where we're going to stop with this shade Renee in the blue. Then I'm going to take the shade Miriam next to it, which is one of my all-time favorites, short of blue shades. And I'm going to start winging it out like so. So first I wing it out for the shape, and then I start patting it down just like to make sure the color payoff is good. Even though I feel like I don't have to do this with these shadows. I feel like they're pretty pigmented on their own, but just to make sure we get color payoff to my liking, I usually do it that way. Now we're going to connect them to this part here. And I'm turning my head like this so you can make sure you see what I'm doing and I can still look in the mirror. Because again, I told y'all, I'll be like, sometimes I look back and like you couldn't see what I was doing the entire time because I had the mirror in the way. So I'm trying to get it to where you can see what I'm doing and still, like, you know, the mirror not be too much of an issue. One thing is I prefer to do a pencil brush because as you can see, sometimes I don't get the perfect shape. As you can see, the shape over here is way better than the shape over here. I feel like this one's much rounder and bigger, and it doesn't have the point on the end like the other one does. But hopefully once I cut the crease, then, you know, they'll be about even. But again, my eyes are two different shapes, so that could be it. I'm going to take the shade Coral now. I forgot to say I used that one. So I use the shade down here just to dust over everything and make sure that the airbrush is nice. So do that now, and then I dusted underneath the bottom of it too as far as that shape went, so I'll probably do that later on after I make sure the rest of it is okay. This palette does tend to have a little bit of fallout. It's not like crazy fallout like the Smoke Sessions palette is to me, but it does have some fallout because I do have a little bit on my cheeks that I can see right now. I don't know if you all can see it, but I see it looking in the mirror here, so I'll fix that in a second. So I'm gonna go off camera and cut my crease, and then we'll come back and put the purple on. Y'all, I forgot I wasn't filming and I started putting the eyeshadow on. So this is the shade Natasha I told y'all about. I'm so glad I realized I wasn't filming and turned it on, because I'd have had the whole eye look done and then y'all wouldn't have seen the rest of what happened. As you see, I'm just following the primer I put down to make sure I get the shape I want. Practice makes perfect, so I've been practicing doing that for a while to hope that I can help with the shaping of the eye. I finally handled the business for my grandma. I've been telling y'all about like for weeks at this point, that every time I come out here they're like always closed or whatever. So I finally got that done today after I went and got my oil changed on my car. So I'm happy about that because I don't have to do that anymore. I was so tired of coming up here every like Friday because I'd leave early, and I'd rather, you know, stay with my son till he leaves, since during the week y'all know I have to work at night or whatever. But I'd have to leave early just to come up here to find out that they were closed. So I was like pissed because every time I look up they close, and it's like I still have stuff I need to do and stuff I would prefer to do instead of handling somebody else's business. But you know, I'm one of those people who looks out for the ones who look out for me. So since, you know, my grandma looked out for me a lot of my life, I'm like, I'm just gonna take the L and just handle the business. And you know, my son will understand, even though I know he does not like it. But you know. Okay, so the shape is looking a little bit better. Still not as sharp as I would like it to be. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to go in with a makeup wipe and sharpen it up, because I feel like it'll look better if I do that. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know that I necessarily want to do that, just because I feel like I messed up my foundation. But I can just put some foundation and concealer on the side of the eye again after I sharpen that up. So I probably will. I'm going to just start spraying it again since I just added some more product. And then we'll go in with the inner corner color. So that bright, gorgeous inner corner, I love to see it. It's the shade Sandra, so we're gonna go in with Sandra now. Put this in the inner corner. Y'all, it's raining outside, so don't expect these selfies to be like, you know, cute in different places like I had done a couple of weeks ago, it's like raining and gloomy outside, so I'm not getting that much great lighting. So I'd have to like sit here and take pictures, or like do like I normally do on the porch or in my car. So just expect the thumbnail for this to not be that great, because I'm not at home where I can take pictures behind my front door like I did this weekend. Because the pictures you see for the rest of the week should be like that, I believe. I'm trying to figure out what order I want to put them in, because I'm trying to do a week of different brands on my IG page. So this week I was thinking about doing e.l.f., but I started off with the Pat McGrath one just because I had one more extra picture in my phone. I did 8 looks with Pat McGrath palettes, because I have a lot of Pat McGrath palettes, of course. But yeah, so this is the finished eye look. Look number 2, I'm really feeling it. I'm going to adjust this and put some mascara on. And then I'm going to go outside and take some look at me, I think, of sexy pictures. And then we'll figure out the third look. I noticed you all really liked when I did a warm tone look with this palette. So I'm thinking I might do a warm tone look as the third eye look. And then we'll give my thoughts on this palette. So be right back. Okay, y'all, so here's the final look. I tried to do something, again, different and fancy for you. So if you can't tell, I got an extra layer of color in between here. I actually tried to use my cake liner. So I bought the bitchin' cake liners from Mented Cosmetics a while ago, and I finally got around to being brave enough to try them out. So I figured since I had this romantic type red smoky eye, if you will, I would go ahead and use this. So I used the shade Jiggy right here and put it in the crease for extra dimension and shimmer to the look. So let me know how I did with the cake liner though, because this is my first time ever using a cake liner. But again, I'm trying to do different stuff for y'all, so I figured I'd try something different. So that's what this extra thing is. I feel like I put a little too much in, but I feel like when I hold my eye like this, you can't really tell. So we just gonna hold it like that and pray for the best with these pictures, because it's gloomy and dark outside, and I'm not feeling pictured. I'm not feeling inspired with pictures today. So I use the shade Linda here, then I use the shade Dolly, I use the shade Claudia, and of course I used to say Cora because I had to dust over everything. But that's pretty much it for this palette. But I have made a few looks with it. I hope I didn't repeat any looks that I did before, because I forgot to go check on my IG and see what I had actually did versus what I actually hadn't done with this palette. But if it is, that's fine. I did those like a while ago, so it's not like you knew, and you all seem to be really interested in them, because those were some of my most watched IG tutorials. So that said to me that you might be interested on my YouTube channel as well, since I hadn't really dabbled in the brand that much. There's another palette I want to get. I think it's Beats by somebody. I think it's Beat by somebody, and I love the color story of the palette, but it's always sold out. So I was just like, oh well. I also need to get the mini palettes in as well. There's a few of them I wanted to get. So I'm thinking about every pay period, just buy like a couple of them. And then that way I can eventually get all of them. Okay, so I did bring this all the way around this time as opposed to using a different one. So we're just going to go what I normally do and just on the crease here. So I hope everybody's week is starting off nice. It is Monday when I am filming this. And y'all know I normally don't do Monday videos, but I had to stay up and handle some business, like as far as getting my car serviced, and then having to handle my grandma's business today as well at the village that she lives in. So I ended up being up this time for hours. So I was like, let's go ahead and film some videos. I mean, I usually wake up at around 12 o'clock in the afternoon, even when I don't have to go to work till like 9, and then I like go back to sleep and then get up at a certain time and call it a day. I'm gonna take the shade Cora now, and we're gonna dust it over the top, and then I'll go off camera to cut the crease so we can save some stuff on this video. And then I'll come back. I'm trying to decide if I want to do any more videos, but I'm like, I feel like it's getting really close to 2 o'clock and rush hour starts soon, around I think 2 o'clock. I'm not sure, but the way I'm taking, hopefully the traffic won't be as bad. At least that's what I'm praying for. Because I'm like, I don't want to drive through a whole bunch of traffic and then have to get home and decompress and slow down. Because what I plan on doing is go home, take a shower, take all my makeup off after I review the last of what's on my face right now. Because I got a review for that coming up. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go ahead and shower, like try to take a nap, and then get up at 7 and then go on to do what I have to do at work. That's the plan. We'll see how well it goes. Okay, y'all, so we have cut it. Let's go into the color Dolly. I'm just taking this ColourPop blending brush, and we're going to start patting. Lately, I've been loving to do looks like this where you just cut the crease, and then you start patting colors all over the lid. And I can't wait to put this cake liner on top, and then probably go back in with the purple to bring it up higher, because I feel like when I do stuff like this, sometimes I cut a little too high and then I have to bring the colors back in just so you can see them, because it's like I'm not feeling like I'm seeing enough color from the purple shade anymore now that I've started putting this on, and now I cut the lid the way I did. But you know, I'll fix it up off camera, or I might fix it up on camera and just edit it out. I don't know, we'll see. But as you can see, I'm just patting all over the lid. Now I got the dimension back I want. I have to go off camera now and do the cake liner, because I need a better mirror than this and better lighting than this. There's only like one small flush mount light behind me, so it's hard to do eye looks in here. And then even with this light, I feel like I'd have to hold the mirror way too close and try to do too much. So I'll come back with it done, and then we will talk about my thoughts on this eyeshadow palette. So I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, so I'm done. This is the final look. As you can see, I got the cake liner in here. I was trying to wait for it to dry so hopefully it wouldn't like crumble. But I'm liking the way the eyes look. I like every look I've done with this palette so far. So needless to say, I am all about the planning makeup with Yolondo life. So we're team playing with makeup with Yolondo here. This has got to be my favorite palette. I do have the Jamrock Universal. It's over there though, so I can't show you what it looks like. But I did do 2 looks with that one on Instagram, I believe. And then I did 3 looks with this one right here. And then I just did 3 more looks for you right now. So if you want to see looks with this palette other than the ones I have on my eyes now, you can go to my IG page. It was a while ago though, so you have to look down a bit. But I think I hashtagged them in playing makeup with Yolondo, so you should be able to see them that way. But anyway, this palette right here, oh my goodness. Y'all, I love everything about it. I love the color story. She did an amazing job with this palette right here. This palette was made for somebody like me who loves colors like this. I know Karen Harris got the same palette I did. I'm hoping to see what look she does, because Karen inspires me as well. Of course, I had to mention Karen in this video. When do I not mention Karen Harris? Anyway, I really love this palette. I definitely want to play with it some more. And when I do my current favorites video, it will definitely be in it, because I'm telling y'all, I love this palette. I love the pigmentation. I love the color story. I love the way the shadows perform. Overall, KK didn't do me dirty. KK, you was right about this whole palette. I had no problem saying it. And KK is Colorful Camille, by the way, if you didn't know. She's friends with Lily Living Life, who's another one of my favorite YouTubers. I love all 3 of those ladies I just mentioned. And you should definitely check out their channels. But anyway, I'm sure KK has some lovely videos with this palette, so you might want to go check out her channel, because she does way more colorful and inspirational eye looks than I do. I'm just over here thinking I'm doing this today because I used the cake liner. So, you know, if you want some true colorful, unique eye looks, definitely go check out KK's videos, and go check out Lily Living Life too, because I believe Lily Living Life has videos on playing the makeup with Yolondo. I don't know if it's this palette, but I know she has videos on it for a fact. I'm quite sure, because I feel like I watched hers, and I know I watched KK's video as well. So go check them out if you want some more inspiration. But I recommend you try out this brand. Now, this palette was out of stock the last time I checked, but you might want to check and see when it's in stock, because I told y'all it's another one that I want. It's called, it's a collab palette with someone else's. Beats by, I want to say it's Beats by Didi, don't quote me, but I really like the color story of that palette, so I definitely want to get my hands on it. But those are my thoughts on this palette. I think you should check out this brand. I love this brand, and it seems like she always coming out with something new, because I looked on her Instagram today and I think it was like 2 more new looks or something like that. I'm like, okay, ma'am, come through with all these looks. How you doing? And all these products. I'm here for it. I'm available. I want to buy more. I will buy more. I'm just trying to wait till the Sephora VIB sale is over and I get paid again, because I want those little mini palettes. Like, I want us to do a video on the mini palettes, and I can just do cute monochromatic color stories with each one, and then I can compare them to the Juvia's Place ones I have as far as formula and all that goes. But until then, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed. Bye.